Meet me. Alright guys, I'm a little late on this video, but better late than never. Some of you guys have been sending me messages asking should you pull on these banners, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Vivian, Tamarinne, and DJ Basar. So number one, Tamarinne. If you do not have her and you're an early game player, she is a must have. And on top of that, Idol's Cheer is a top tier artifact in both PvE and PvP. But absolutely, Tamarinne is a must pull. Even more important than most limited heroes if you're a new player. Why? Because she is the god of PvE content, and you really need to clear PvE to be able to progress in this game. So many Abyss floors depend on Tamarinne to make it easy. Tamarinne is on a bunch of my expedition teams. In hunts, people used to even use Tamarinne in Wyvern. Obviously, with Wyvern 13, that's not a thing anymore. But she's on like my Azimanic hunt team. She destroys Golem. Automation Tower, she destroys. And even in PvP, I know Tamisseri is kind of outdated, but you can still use it. It still works. So if you don't have Tamarinne, that's an absolute must pull, especially if you're a new player. Don't even worry about it. Just pull for her. You're going to need her. 6-star her. You don't even need good gear on her. Like, my Tamarinne has pretty busted gear, but I never felt the need to give her good gear because she does her job no matter what. Like, basically all she has to do is get her to her S3 and spam it. Like, these are her stats, like 75, 67, 67, two unreforged garbage pieces with irrelevant stats. Very, very easy to build. Now, Vivian. Is she a must pull? No, she's not, but she's still very good. In PvE, she's a core component of many one-shot Banshee and Azimanic hunt teams. So in hunts, she's very popular because she has that 3-turn attack buff and a good ability to clear out the first mob waves. So she's an excellent, excellent hunt unit. In PvP, a lot of top legend players do like her. Now, I gotta say, I didn't run into her anywhere near as much Season 3 as I did in Season 2. In Season 2, I felt like I ran into her a lot. If you do get her, she's usually built pretty fast, like 250 plus, and they usually have her on either the Cleanse EE or the 50% CR bump after the S3 EE, depending on whether they're trying to cleave with her or just use her as some kind of like immunity giving unit. Her artifact, Dignus Orb, very, very good artifact. I'd say best in slot for certain heroes, definitely best in slot for Vivian, and almost certainly best in slot for Tomoka. Although a few people use Symbol of Unity on Tomoka because of all the degen RBs out there, I still think Dignus Orb is better. The barrier it gives to Tomoka is just so huge, and with the stealth damage reduction from AoE, it really helps Tomoka sustain. So this is definitely a great artifact. I would not say great enough for you to go balls to the wall and try to pull multiple copies of it, or pulling on a banner just for the artifact in case you get unlucky. But Vivian is more of a, it's not a must-have, but if you're looking to build one-shot hunt teams and you have extra bookmarks, you should go for Vivian. But if you're saving for the next limited heroes and stuff like that, and you're really short on bookmarks, I'd say she's definitely in the plausible skip territory. Whereas if you don't have Tamarinne, no option, you just have to get her. All right, DJ Basar. Should you pull for DJ Basar? I'm not even talking about Great Chief Kawana because she's an ML4, so I would strongly advise never pulling on a Mystic banner for an ML4. Just wait, you'll get it eventually. So we'll just ignore her. But DJ Basar, should you pull? My answer to that is I'm not sure. Now, there are definitely much better ML5s out there, but in the past, I would have said this is an easy skip. But he got buffed recently, so he's way better now. So for those of you who didn't have DJ Basar, before, the change to him was they added this. When this skill is available, decrease damage suffered from a critical hit by 30%. let me tell you why that's so huge. He was a wonky hero to use because if you wanted to use him as a cleanser, you needed like 270 effect resist, right? Because the average F10A has like 150, and a lot of them are pushing 200. So to reliably resist, you needed like close to 300 effect resist. If you went for 300 effect resist, because his base stats weren't great, he would just get one-shotted by everything before he could even S3. So I can tell you last season, I think I saw him drafted once out of 1,000 matches. This makes him a lot more viable because it means that you can build him high effect resist, and still, he basically has a built-in proof of valor now. He can still tank. So you could have this and like Water's Origin to help bump him up if he takes a lot of damage, and he might be a reliable cleanser now. On top of that, his S2 now heals when he uses his S3 as well. Before, this thing only worked if his S1, so his S3 didn't heal at all, which is why Ray kind of became more popular than DJ Basar, even though he doesn't have DJ Basar's CR push, because Ray had that nice burst AoE healing, and he actually had two because both his S3 and his S2 healed, whereas DJ Basar had no heal on his S3, and then he just spammed his S1, which actually isn't too bad because you can get those rando stuns, but his soul burn cost too much, and he just wasn't good. But now, I think he'll be a very viable anti-control unit. I also feel like some people might just straight up build him very tanky and not care about effect resist because immunity is still really strong. Like LR Crow kind of proved that, right? Because yeah, he has that AoE damage, but that AoE immunity is also a huge part of why LR Crow was so meta last season. So you can't underestimate AoE immunity, and it's a 3-turn immunity. So some people might even like eschew the effect resist and just go like standard Soul Weaver build, like 150 to 200 effect resist, and just make him tanky, and he will be healing every single turn. And it does heal all allies, not just one, so you can even put him on Celestine, and it'll give an even bigger heal to one person. So DJ Basar, I think, is situational. If you already have Ray, and if you already have a lot of anti-control team options, there's probably better things to save your mystics on, especially if you're F2P. Like if you're still missing like core heroes like LR Crow, FCC, RB, whatever, even Sage Ball now, I guess maybe, things like that. And you want to save and wait for them. Although, I mean, FCC just came out, so you'll probably not get that. But there are definitely better ML5s out there, but I think DJ Basar will become a little bit more common now that these buffs have came out. But it's too early to say. I don't think too many people are going to be taking preseason that seriously. The meta is really defined in the middle of like the actual season, but I think he'll definitely be much better. And I think that's every banner. So I think we'll wrap up this Should You Pull session. Apologies that it's kind of late. I know if you watch this, you only have really 2 days to pull on this, but I hope for those of you guys who are on the fence, we'll just sum it up here. Tamarinne must pull. Vivian is a plausible skip, but she's still good in the hunts and even in PvP. And DJ Basar's up in the air, but he is much better than he used to be, so we'll have to wait and see. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Should You Pull episode. Leave any questions or comments in the comment section below. Until next time, peace out, boys.